Welcome to Business Spotlight, a signature series from the National Society of Black Wedding and Event Professionals. This is the show where we shine a light on the people, the stories, and the passion behind the brands. Each episode, we sit down with one of our incredible members to explore the journey, the culture, and the character that fuels their business. It's not just about what they do, it's about why they do it, how they got started, and what keeps them going. From bold startups to beloved staples, we're celebrating the entrepreneurs who are shaping the wedding and event industry, our community, one story at a time. So, whether you're here for inspiration, connection, or just good conversation, you're in the right place. This is Business Spotlight, where business gets personal. Today, we're joined by a true creative force from the Big Apple, NSBWEP member Tanya Breland, founder of Happy Planning Events. Tanya brings joy, precision, and a whole lot of flair to every celebration she touches. Get ready to hear how she turns vision into unforgettable vibes. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Business Spotlight with the National Society of Black Wedding and Event Professionals. This is where we shine the spotlight on our members for you to have the opportunity to get to know them better. And today I am super excited because we have all the way from New York City, Miss Tanya Breland of Happy Planning Events. Hey, Tanya, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Well, thank you for joining. This is actually, guys, I think my first time meeting Tanya up close and
Yes.
personal. So I'm super excited about this interview and just learning all about her and what she's going to share with us today.
Yes.
So, speaking of learning more about you, Tanya, tell people like who you are, what you do. I know you're in New York City, but kind of like hone in, tell us what borough you're from. Give us all the good stuff.
Okay. Well, Tanya Breland, I'm the CEO and lead planner of Happy Planning Events, and I'm based here in New York City. So I'm a Brooklyn raised and bred individual. So Brooklyn is my heart, but all the boroughs are fantastic to me because I know New York. I just know New York. And what I do is I do wedding and event planning, and I do social events as well. So, and I've serviced busy couples here that are too busy, don't want no stress in their planning, and want to actually enjoy their engagement.
Awesome. So you said Brooklyn, right?
Yes, Brooklyn born.
Okay. I love a little Brooklyn. I've been there before. I try to bounce around to all of the boroughs whenever I come to New York. Which one I like best? I like Harlem, I like Brooklyn, and I like Manhattan, although Manhattan is a little too expensive for my taste a little bit, but I love all about what New York has to offer. It just has
Yes,
vibe just going all the way through. Um,
yes,
so you are a planner. Tell us
yes.
what inspired you to become a planner.
Okay, so I've always been romantic. Like I watch all the wedding movies and stuff like that. And what happened is that it literally, and I know a lot of people say this, but it literally fell in my lap. So
Mhm.
I got married in 2021, planned my wedding through a whole pandemic. Oh, we don't say that no more, but planned my wedding through a whole pandemic. And then after I got married, I planned my whole wedding by myself, but I did have a day of coordinator. And
Mhm.
after my wedding, my best friend, she got engaged during my engagement as I was planning my wedding and said she wasn't going to start any planning until I got married. And as soon as I came up for air after my wedding, we were at it again, wedding planning for her. And she lived in Texas. So we were planning from New York to Texas, just trying to get this wedding together. And her wedding was beautiful. And a couple of months after she got married, a friend that came to my wedding was like, Tanya, I'm engaged. Help. And then the thing that caught me off guard was she was like, well, how much are you charging? And I was like, oh,
I don't know.
right.
I don't know.
Then let me go to the Google. because I enjoyed planning. I just didn't even think about it as a business. This was something I was giving out for free, because I enjoyed it. So I looked up what a coordinator was, what partial planning did, and everything like that. And she said she just wanted a coordinator. And I said, okay, well, this is what I'm charging. And she was like, okay, no problem, and paid me in full. And I started working on her wedding. Now, not knowing that when you're a damn coordinator, you don't start working on their wedding, right? So I was like, okay, but I wanted to get my feet wet and I wanted to get all in it. And she enjoyed it. They gave me a grand review. And after that, I said, okay, Tanya, we need to know where the boundaries are. Right. So then what I did is I looked on Instagram, I looked on Google, looking for places to get education. And that's when I found my business coach, Irene Tyndale, and go
Good
taking.
member of NSBWEP.
Yes, another member of NSWEP. And she started coaching me from the beginning. And I've been getting a lot of good education and implementing everything that I'm learning. And I've had several clients since then, and I am just rocking and rolling.
Awesome. It's funny about that very first client that you get. And like you said, no, you just jump right in. It's just like you just jumping in the swimming pool. You know how you just start learning how to swim and
Yeah,
you just paddling. Like I just gotta stay afloat until I can get to the side of the pool and get myself out. And
exactly.
I remember my first, well, what initiated me to open up my business. I was always that friend that was always planning stuff. And then one year I had a holiday party at my home, and I'm real particular about people coming to my house. And I always tell my friends, don't invite strangers to my house.
Right.
Okay. I had that one friend that did that. And the person that came was just like, oh, can you help me plan a party for me? And the first words out of my mouth, yes, I didn't know how much I was going to charge, but my statement was, yes, I'm going to charge you because I don't know you, because you came to my house uninvited. So that was like my little funny scenario to like the first client asking you to do something for you and
Right.
so forth. But yeah, you just jump in. You just jump in
Yeah.
and you just get it done.
Exactly, exactly. And I
Mhm.
wanted my best foot forward. I wanted to put my best
Yeah.
foot forward. So I was like, okay, but then I realized I was doing a little bit too much. And I was like, yeah, so there has to, because I said there's three tiers. So if I'm doing all this under one tier, what does the rest of the tiers do?
Mhm.
So I said, let me find out what the boundaries are so I can do that in my business as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And everything is a learning experience from your very first event all the way up till whenever you decide to retire. Because throughout our journey of entrepreneurship, there's always going to be something new. And
Yes.
we can't think of these things as a failure when we don't know what we're doing. We take it as a learning experience. And your learning experience was like, oh, now that this is over, let me go research. Let me go find me a business coach. And that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it was the best decision I made for my business and
Awesome.
personally.
Awesome. Awesome. So how did you come up with the name of your company, Happy Planning Events?
Well, I came up with the name Happy Plan Events because I am known for my big smile. I'm
I can
always
tell.
I'm always when someone is always talking about Tanya's smile or how I come in the room and how I change the environment for the better and things of that sort. So in wedding planning, it has a negative connotation, right? It's more like,
Mhm.
oh, it's stressful, I'm overwhelmed, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. And I'm like, no, you need to enjoy your engagement because couples spend most of the engagement planning, right? Which means that you don't even get to enjoy your engagement. All you're
Mhm.
doing is planning a wedding, planning a wedding, planning a wedding. And it affects your relationship. It affects you personally, it affects your mental and all that. So I came and I said, you know what? I want my couples to be happy planning their event. And
Mhm.
that's when I came up with Happy Planning Events.
Awesome. Awesome. I was super excited. So you said you got married in 2021, opened up your business thereafter. So you're approaching almost your 5-year mark.
I just, well, if we go according to establishing the business or starting the business, I'm 3 years in doing it, but I'm
Okay.
2 years in business.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So moving on, let's talk about some of the things that go on in our industry and, how we, you know, what sets you apart from the next planner in Brooklyn, the next planner in Harlem, or the next planner period throughout the United States? What sets you apart?
Well, let me tell you what my clients say. My
Girl.
clients always say that I bring calm. Like I'm like family to them, because I have a background in mental health and human services. So when I come on a call or in person with one of my clients, I gauged where we at, like mentally. So if she comes in or he comes in to the room and it's tense, we're dealing with that first. We're not talking about timelines. We're not talking about catering. We're not talking about anything. We're dealing with where you are now. And because I acknowledge them as a person before I acknowledge them as a client, they tend to give me more, and give me more to, it's my mom, we're going to use the keyword peppermint every time my mom, or or it's the fact that I like this caterer but I can't afford it, and I'm just like, okay, how sometimes money is not easy to talk about, right? Even in
Mhm,
your relationship, I've been married
mhm,
3 years, and sometimes it's still not good, it's not good to talk about. But you got to be able to figure out what it is you want and how we can make it within your budget. So I'm always trying to fill out the person that I'm working with as a person before I look at them as a dollar bill. So, and they see it. They see it.
mhm. Okay, okay. I love that you led in to say, hey, tell you what my clients say about me. Love it, love it. So that tells me that you have a true, genuine relationship with your clients, and you probably love all of them and all of them love you. But what's like one of your favorite events that you've done?
Okay, so my favorite event that I've done was in August of 24. It was my first stranger client, if that makes sense. And when we first got on the call with that client, she held back, like, oh no, I just want to be dealing with emails, this and this and this, and we'll meet every week, we'll meet every month, whatever the case is. And her fiance, now husband, was more like, oh no, we can call you, we can meet more than once, or whatever the case is. And by the end of the planning, it was like, Tanya, okay, we got to move this to once a week. We got to move this to, we got to, and I was able to break through the barrier that she set up, because you don't know me, and I'm coming into your personal business, and we're still connected, and I
Mhm,
love the fact that, they just had a baby. I was text to be the first person to know. So it's relationship for me. It's relationship for me,
mhm,
getting to get a good relationship with my clients. And that event was so personable. They're both entertainers. One's a dancer, one's a musician, and they wanted that in their wedding. They
mhm,
didn't know how, they didn't know who, but they knew that they wanted it to be a part of their wedding. And we sat down and we created a curated experience for them that you could see in their wedding. I look at videos now, it's their wedding. It's not a wedding, it's their wedding. And
mhm.
everybody enjoyed themselves, and it's beautiful. It was beautiful.
Nice, nice, nice. Love it. And I'm a planner myself, and I know I say that planners have the most intense job
Yes.
in the out of all of the professions in the industry. Because let me tell you what, we are therapists, we are the MacGyvers. Whenever things, if you're, I don't know how old you are, but if you saw that TV show MacGyver, he was
Yes. It was
always fixing things. Or
not the
you can say
reruns.
we are the Olivia of Hope of events, always
Exactly.
fixing things. We are PR people
Yes.
because we are PR people and don't get paid because we're repping all of the other vendors, telling them what, telling, our clients about them, promoting them
Yes.
and so forth. And the list just goes on and on and on.
Yes.
So our spectrum, our role as far as like what we do goes beyond planning. So
Absolutely.
with all that being said, people always wonder, what do you all do in your office? So what is your day like today? What did you do when you first woke up this morning? What's a typical day?
A typical day is always I wake up, I thank God for the day, and then I market myself. I market myself, whether it's a post on Threads, whether it's a scheduled post that I put out just to communicate on my post or on someone else's post, or I look on my LinkedIn and see what connections I've made and stuff like that. I always market myself first. And then secondly, then I then I look at see in my email what is on my to-do list, what is priority, what is not. And then from there, I either go into working in my business or I go to working on my business depending on the day. And what that looks like, it could be a response to a client inquiry. It could be a response to a vendor for a client event. It could be reaching out to the client and reminding them of a to-do list that they missed. It's a lot of different moving steps depending on the day and depending on what's the priority for the day.
Okay, and let's get a little bit more personable. What are you eating?
Oh, I'm
What are
drinking
you looking?
coffee.
Are you looking out
Oh,
the window? Do you
okay.
take walks? Do you be like, oh girl, it's 2 o'clock. It's time to take a 1 hour power nap.
Well, I'm a coffee drinker, so that's my mojo in the morning. I have to have my cup of coffee, French vanilla, light and sweet. That's my joy. I have a cup of coffee. I don't even need lunch. I mean, I don't even need breakfast. I could wait all the way until lunch to eat because as long as I have my coffee, I'm satisfied. I check in with my husband. I sit down and I have conversations with him, make sure I'm present for him because uh, I make sure that he is priority as well because I have to do the balance, right? The work life balance with my husband.
Mhm.
So he doesn't feel like my clients are are priority over him. So I always make sure I'm talking with him. I'm actually my daughter is pregnant now, so she's in her 9th month. So I'm checking on her because I'm making sure because it's almost time. It's almost time. So
Congratulations.
thank you so much. So I am just basically making sure I'm touching points with everyone. And once I touch points with everyone, then I touch points with me. And I know they probably is backwards, but to me, if they're okay, I'm okay, and I can focus on me. And I make sure I have quiet time, brainstorm. Me and Chat GBT, I call her Chatty, and so some other people, we have conversations, whether it's personal, whether it's business, just to get all of the things because as being newer in the industry, sometimes my brain has all these ideas for my business, all these ideas for my personal life, and sometimes I just have to get it out and put it down on paper. And sometimes it's good for me to talk chat gbt because she talks back to me, like asks me questions, and I do that because I want so much for me, and sometimes the wheels could just be going, and it's like it's overwhelmed, and I don't want to be overwhelmed. I want to be able to be focused and calm and collective and run this business to the best of my ability and make it grow and scale to where I want it to be.
And I love something that you just said, and that is that you want so much for yourself. I love that. Everybody should want that. Everybody should want that. And with that being said, you talked about, how you go through your day, putting your husband first, and then you got a grandbaby on the way. What inspires you to keep going?
Well, what's the word? I'm very ambitious. I'm very ambitious, and I'm a self-motivator and I'm a self-starter. So, um, I always see more. I don't know why. That's how I've been as a kid. I was one in gifted and talented classes. I always I always want to see more. And what I'm learning is to be able, I'm learning to actually live in the moment. That's my challenge, living in the moment, because I feel like I've lived that already because I was striving for that yesterday. So So I made it here. So where we going? And sometimes I have to slow myself down and say, you're here. You are
Mhm.
here. Let's bathe in this for a little bit. I can't stay long.
Cool.
Can't stay
See, I'm
long.
loving you. You said, let's bathe in this for a moment.
Let's bathe in this for a moment, but I'm not going to stay here long because there's so much more. Like I want to see what my capabilities are. I'm
Mm.
always pushing myself further than I've always been, you know. Um, and I love to succeed. So, what is the challenge for today? How can I overcome that? And that's really where I'm at with that. That's who I am as essence. I'm always looking to do more and to see more and achieve more.
Love it, love it, love it. Um, and tying into that, as far as like what you said, I'm pretty sure because you're just aware of your surroundings, you're aware of what it is that you want. What is one or maybe two of the biggest lessons you've learned since being a business owner? Oh.
Number one, everyone is not your client. Don't know exactly. I know who I want to be my client, and sometimes that person appears to be like that, and then you're working with them and you realize you're not my client. So that's number one. And two is basically you have to work more on your business than you do in your business because I love planning, but I didn't get into planning to be a business owner, if that makes sense. So there's some things that I have to learn to be able to be a great business owner and a great planner. So those are the things that I am working on right now in my business.
Well, I was muted there, guys, but awesome. I am loving it, loving it, loving it. Um, Running right along in our conversation, let's talk about some fun things. If you weren't in the wedding and events industry, what would you be doing?
Okay, so me, if I wasn't in the wedding and event industry, I would definitely be a mental health counselor. Um, because my current position now as a full time, I still work full time. I am a residential supervisor for individuals with developmental disabilities,
Mm,
and I used to come from mental health, like I said. So if I was to, I think that everyone needs to have a mental health counselor. So I would definitely be a mental health counselor, whether you're diagnosed or undiagnosed. I think everybody, that's why people talk about therapy and stuff like that, because everybody needs someone to talk to. And it
mhm,
doesn't have to always be a professional, but sometimes we need professional help.
mhm. Girl, all the time, all the time. Just listening to you and then just you telling me like what your full-time job is, that tells me that you have a big heart, you have patience, and you love people because people in the mental health are people that serve individuals that have some type of disability or challenges in their life. You all are very patient people.
And we know
Awesome.
that they come with their own
Hmm.
trauma, their own problems and stuff like that that they may not even sometimes be aware of.
Hmm. Hmm. What's your hype song? Which you probably don't need a hype song, do you? Because you
So
you are naturally happy. So work with me. Do you have a hype song?
yes, I have a hype song. My hype song is anything 90s dance hall reggae. I telling my age, it was present when I was listening to it. But there's a song that I love so much, and if I could just find it, it's called "A Party Girl." It's a soca song that is it's soca and it's very fast paced and I love it so much. But reggae dance hall from the 90s, yes. If you want to, if you say Tanya, what you doing, and I say I'm cleaning my house, that's what's going to be blasting in the background.
Okay, okay. Let me find out, Miss Tanya.
Oh,
And what did you say the name of it is?
oh, the name of the song is, oh God, what is the name of the song? Is Oh, I can tell you right now. Hold on one second. I'll tell you exactly what the name of the song is. Because it's in my playlist. It's called Girl, You a Party Animal.
Girl, you are a party animal. Okay. Let me see if I can find it on my thing. Girl, you are a party animal.
It's Charlie Black.
Charlie Black.
And it's
Oh,
gonna say gal, so it's Gyal.
okay, okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to look that up later on. Later on. Well, I love it. I can see you now just jamming away.
Yes, jamming away.
Okay. Awesome. Next question for you. What is something that people might be surprised about you?
Surprised about me.
Something that we may not know about you. What's that
Oh,
inside secret?
oh, that I was a Bible school teacher for 9 years. I taught ministers how to be teachers and the difference between being a preacher and a teacher. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As the old folks say in the church, what led you to that calling?
Actually, it's funny because I have a very teaching spirit. Like if I learn something, I feel obligated to give it away because I feel like I shouldn't hold it to myself. So I used to be in church, used to be a church girl, choir member, all that good stuff. And one morning I was watching a preacher on TV before I went to church, and the preacher said that, some of your callings you're running away from and this, that, and the third. And he was like, oh, some of you are preachers. And I said, I'm not a preacher, I'm a teacher. And I go to church, and he's the pastor now, but he was the deacon then. He pulled me aside, and he was the dean of the Bible school for the church. And he came to me, he said, Tanya, how would you like to be the backup teacher for one of the elder ladies that was teaching because she was having some health issues? And I said, sure, I would do that. I said, you would never know that was on TV this morning. So when I tell you things fall in my lap, my lap be full. My lap be full. Lap be full.
Love it, love it, love it. Um, let's see. What am I going to ask you next? Oh, if you could plan an event anywhere, where would it be?
Okay, so there's three places. I was trying to narrow down to one, but Paris,
Mhm.
I would be Paris, it would be Italy, or it would be Jamaica, the Caribbean island. Those would be the three spaces that I would love to plan an event at.
I love all of those locations. Love them all. Have you ever been to those locations just on
Mm,
vacation or anything?
No, I'm trying to get to Jamaica by the end of this year. So
Okay. And I'm sure you're going to speak it into existence because, like you said, things just fall in your lap. It's definitely going to happen, Tanya.
yeah, I just last couple of weeks ago I was in Puerto Rico for a wedding. They found me on Threads, and I planned the wedding in Puerto Rico. So, and when I tell you fall in my lap, I really mean fall in my lap.
Wonderful, wonderful. Let's talk about networking. You've become a part of the National Society of Black Wedding and Event Professionals. Kind of tell us about your networking, either with the association, outside of the association. How does networking impact your business?
Well, you know what? When I first actually got into business, I went to one networking event. As you can tell, I'm an extrovert, so I can walk into a room and introduce myself, no problem. That's not even an issue. And I started introducing myself, telling people who I am, and finding out who they were, what they did, whatever the case is. And that connection, one of the photographers, actually two of the photographers at that event, one of them did my first brand shoot. And one of them, when a couple was looking for their photographer, I referred him and he got booked. So the networking is basically just basic for me is getting to know who's out there in the industry, getting myself known, but also finding out who's out there so that I can get my referral base for my clients up, and collaborating, joining in on maybe Black Friday's specials, or collaborating for some type of event or something like that. So it's been really good to my business, getting out there and meeting new people, because I'm not afraid of people.
Mhm. Networking is key as an entrepreneur. And I always tell people it's not about who you know, but who knows you. And so you
Mhm.
have to work, you're your own walking billboard, you're your own commercial. You have to rep yourself no matter where you go, so that people
Yes,
can know exactly who you are and what it is that you do.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I'm big on that. I'm big on that. I make sure, like, I was a very active non-member for a while,
Mhm.
but for International Society, because I know every time I go in the room, I know everybody, and it was like, "When are you going to become a member, Tanya? When? Just when?" And I was like, "You know what?" I spoke to Nia. I said, "You know what? I'm doing it today. I'm hitting the button." She was like, "Yeah,
Well, we're excited to have you. Thank you for hitting
thank
them. Thank you
you."
for hitting. So,
Yes.
for the new people out there in the world, what type of advice would you give them for just entering in the wedding and event industry?
Well, two things I would say: do it scared. Do it scared. You can't be all that prepared. We have planners in the industry that have been here 20 years, and every event teaches you something. So do it scared. And when you learn something, implement it. Find out if it actually works for your business, but you'll never know if you don't try.
Come on. Some rapid fire questions for you. Favorite event trend?
Favorite event trend is the audio guest book. Love it.
Okay. Awesome. Love that. Love that. Most unforgettable moment at an event?
Most unforgettable moment at the event is when the couple dips in the middle. I love it. I educate my couples to do that just so I can see it.
Look, there you go, coaching again.
Yeah, listen.
Morning or night person?
Middle of the day. I'm different.
She said middle of the day. Now, is that a
Yes,
choice?
I'm not a night
I'm just
owl.
gonna come in between middle of the day. So you wake
Yes,
up like 11 o'clock.
yeah. I'm more of an 11 o'clock. Like, I'm at my best at 11 o'clock. Most of my meetings I always schedule for 11 because that's where I'm at.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a very sensitive question to me.
Okay.
You eat grits?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
What do you put in your grits, Tanya?
Wait, this is a trick question. I put salt on my grits.
Yeah. Girl, if you would have said sugar, I would have just like, oh. I don't know why people want to put sugar in grits. There is no sugar in grits. We're not making
Sugar and
oatmeal.
cream of wheat. Sugar and cream of
We're
wheat.
not making oatmeal here. Okay. Coffee or tea? I think I kind of know what the answer is.
Coffee all the time, tea when I'm sick.
Okay. Salty or sweet?
Sweet.
Awesome. Dream celebrity client.
Woo! Okay. Mary J. Blige. I'm sorry, that's my auntie. That's my little sister. Mary J. Blige, Mary J. Blige. But if I had to choose a couple, it's gonna be Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. Oh, I want to do that way.
Such an odd couple.
I want to do their
They're
wedding.
such an
I
odd
know.
couple.
I
Every
know.
time I see them on TV, I'm like, what attracted her to him?
Had to be fun.
I'm telling you. Or his brain one. Okay. One word to describe your journey in this industry.
Transformative.
Ooh, okay. Is bringing it today. All right, so we are closing out, Tanya. This has definitely been a joy to have you on here. I'm
Thank you
sure
so much.
that the audience is going to enjoy listening in. So tell us what's next for you and your business.
Well, I'm currently in the process of growing my team. I am looking to add more services for that way I can, hit every client. I know you have one target one, but I want to be there to be able to assist with any client that comes to me. I can offer something to them to benefit them for the event. So that's what's new for me. And rebranding. Next year, I'm gonna be going through a whole rebranding. Just making sure everything lines up with everything that I am.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And any final words to the audience? Any aspiring event professionals or couples? Any final words?
Okay, final words would be this is a industry where it's about love, it's about care, it's about joy. And if you're coming into this industry, you have to bring a little bit of yourself and some vulnerability and transparency with you.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Can people find you, Tanya?
Well, you're always going to find me on IG, Instagram at Happy Planning Events. You're also going to find me on TikTok at Tanya, the New York City Wedding Planner. Also on Facebook, New York City Wedding Planner, and LinkedIn at Tanya Breland, the New York City Wedding Planner.
Awesome. Hi, thank you for joining me today and giving us that insight into who you are.
Yeah.
Audience, thank you for joining and watching. What we would love for you to do is watch this video, like this video, and share it with everyone that you know so that you can get to know Tanya Breland of Happy Planning Events. And hey, you never know, you may be planning an event and you will need her services. So you will know now the person that you're connecting with. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you on our next episode.
Thank you so much.